Yeah. Uh-huh. We don't have a pink moon perfume, we have a candle. But you know, you're inspiring me right now. Pink moon. Hi, everybody online. I've just been chatting with everybody who's here. I'm so happy to see you. Happy full moon. Happy full moon in Virgo. I was just telling everybody in the room here, if today was your favorite day, then you're all alone. Because the full moon in Virgo will kick your behind. It's very, very hard. The full moon in Virgo, the mantra for the full moon in Virgo, are you ready? I just told the group in person that the mantra for the full moon in Virgo is you can't do anything right. So all day long it feels like, okay, that didn't go well. Okay, that didn't go the way I hoped it would. Okay, that sucked. So if you've been having that kind of a day, um, it's helpful, isn't it, just to know that you're not alone and that there are astrological influences that are shaping your experience of a particular day. Full moons are great when they're in the water sign, I think, because the moon is a water planet. And so when it's full in its own element, at least there's some synergy there. Do you know what I mean? But you get a big full water element planet in an earth sign that, you know, what does Virgo do? You've been through astrological class with me. Virgo just takes a microscope to everything and looks at the fine details, the pimples on your face. That's what Virgo's looking at right now. So imagine a big full moon doing that in your life. The pimples of your life. So if you're ready to stop looking at the pimples of your life, then tomorrow will come. It'll be a whole new day. Move on to it. Okay. But you know what? But let's think about the bright side. What can you do with a full moon in Virgo? You can use it to focus. When I meditate every day, and I feel like I get some pretty clear messages in my meditations. If you meditate every day, you will too. People who say, "Oh, I don't get clear messages," I come to find out they meditate once a year. Okay, and it's like, yeah, you're not going to get clear messages if you meditate once a year, but if you just take 5 minutes a day and you start making a practice, you will get clear messages. And my message this morning was focus. You're over here doing that, and you're over here doing this, and where are the kids, and who's picking them up, and oh, I don't have the groceries, and oh my God, we're out of milk, and oh, I haven't planned the full moon ritual yet. That's happening, and then oh, I just dropped my stones all over the floor in Trader Joe's, kind of thing. Like that's a lot of that, and the universe kind of, and even in the meditation, I was like, I shouldn't even be meditating right now. I should be whatever else you think you should be doing. And it was like this big bullhorn of a message this morning for me: focus. You know, narrow. Somebody once told me that what I really needed in life was blinders, like the things that horses wear, you know, when they're in a parade, so that they can't get distracted looking at all the things. I don't like that, but I think a lot of us do need blinders. And I would like for you to consider tonight, as we go through our meditation, to honor the full moon in Virgo. What would it look like in your life right now for you to, and that may mean finishing a project. I bet for a lot of you that means finishing a project. You know, you start the thing and then you stop the thing, you start the thing, and then the thing doesn't get done, and then a year later you're like, I should have done that thing, didn't do that thing. I'm working on this manuscript about manifestation, and one of the things I'm writing about is why people don't manifest anything. It's like 95% of people want to manifest stuff and they never do. And there are layers and layers and layers about why that is. But one of the primary things is manifestation requires a laser, a sustained laser on one thing for a long time. And most of us have spiritual, you know, ADHD. We're all over the place. Everything sounds like fun. I want to try it, or nothing. We can't get anything done because we're all over the place. So I would invite you tonight. We're not going to do this part of this ritual, but after we're done, I would love for you to sit down somewhere with your journal. If you don't have a journal, get a journal. And somebody told me once they didn't have a journal. I was like, do you have a printer at home? Go in your printer, pull the tray out, take a piece of paper. There's your journal. But don't make excuses for things, you know? Sit down with your piece of paper out of your printer tray and write down what you're going to focus on. And go outside under the full moon and make an agreement to commit, to focus. And maybe just do one thing for now. Do you know what I mean? Like use the energy, because this full moon has energy for you. You may not like it. It doesn't feel very good, especially if you're a Leo. If you're a Virgo, you're like, oh, this is so fun. I'm enjoying today so much. But and you can share with us what your intention is, but I would just encourage you to have a few minutes alone with the moon tonight and share what you're going to focus on and really commit to that. And I promise you, if you do that, and make it a chunk, don't take on the whole pie, make it a slice. I promise you, this is how manifestation happens. If you really commit to that and start working your life in lunar cycles, which is how I work, moon to moon, you will see progress by that next moon. So don't say I'm going to lose 80 pounds. Maybe I'm going to lose 3 pounds. Okay. I'm not going to write a whole book. I'm going to write a chapter. I'm not going to, wean my baby completely. I'm just going to take small steps. Whatever your goal is right now, I'm just thinking about people in our community. Chunk, but commit tonight under that full moon because it's that Virgo energy will support you. Yeah? So we are talking about a beautiful goddess tonight whom I adore. And she is from the Celtic pantheon. And as we go through our goddesses this year, we're going to touch on every major pantheon of history. And that's been my goal for a long time. For a long time, I wanted to teach a class called Pantheia, which means all the gods. Okay, and that's kind of what we're doing here this year is Pantheia. We are going around the pantheons, and that's my academic background. I'm trained in the history of Western civilization and used to teach it. So when you hear me, read in Latin and talk about Latin and Greek poetry and stuff, that was my academic background for a long time. But I'm interested in history, and I'm interested in the pantheons, and I'm interested in going beyond just the superficial stuff. Everybody talks about Brigid or Brigid. I'm going to say Brigid, but you can say Brigid, or however you want to pronounce her name. It should start with a B. There's no terrible pronunciation. It's not Bridget. I've heard that. That's not what that is. Don't do that. But Brigid and Brigid are the two pronunciations that you hear. Everybody hears certain things about her, like, oh, she's the goddess of middle winter, which she is. And when you think about Brigid, you usually think about Imbolc. And Imbolc is the signal that we're halfway through winter in the northern hemisphere, which is really good news for everybody. California got the memo really early. We've been in the 80s for like a month. I won't let that into our plans. It did rain once. It did, for like an hour. It was horrible. It was so bad. I thought I was going to drown. I know. We're so spoiled here. But so we still think about the holidays here, even if we don't get the weather, and we think about coming out of that period of winter time. So that's what people typically think of with Brigid. They think of Candlemas in the Catholic tradition, right? The lighting of all the candles, which represents the return of the sun, blah blah blah. I am interested in how we work with Brigid around the elements. And Brigid to me is a fire goddess and a water goddess. She's known for two things in the pantheon. She's known for her sacred flame, which is the eternal flame. And in Kildare, England, or Ireland, there's still a flame that's lit in her honor. And everyone thinks of her as the goddess who keeps that flame alive. And we're going to do some work with that flame tonight inside of you. And we're going to do a little self-love work, because I've been teaching in my class. I teach a class called the Magical Sabbatical. We've been talking about autoimmune disorders and how many empaths struggle with autoimmune disease. And I think a lot of it is around self-love and self-acceptance. And Brigid is a really good role model for learning how to love yourself. And if you look at the mythology around her, I mean, she lost her child. She didn't have, the goddess herself lost a child. She is the daughter of the major war god in the Norse and Celtic traditions, right? And so then she married the leader of a warring clan, and they had a son, and she lost her son, and that's how she became really the goddess of peace and healing. But she represents that for us, right? So we're going to do a little work around that tonight. And then, as an optional piece, if you want to work on healing, I'm going to have us tap into her sacred healing well, and to call that water energy in. And so if you want to do a little work for healing for yourself, don't do this for anybody else. Tonight's about you, okay? But if you want to do a little healing work for yourself and your body, we're going to use the visualization of her sacred well and pull that water in and pull it into our bodies. And that is a very healing thing to do, especially when you're working with this particular goddess who, her wells were known to heal all kinds of physical maladies. There are stories in the mythology about healing leprosy and very serious diseases. There's a really fun story. It's not fun. It's not in the sense that like it shows her personality. She brought 2 lepers to the well to heal them. Have you heard this story? Right? And so she basically said that the one leper had to heal the other leper by taking the water and anointing him with the water. And so she healed the one leper, and then she said, now you're gonna heal him with the water. And he was like, I'm not touching that guy. This is like a version of this, like the honey badger version. I'm not touching that guy. And so she draped her cloak around the leper that hadn't been healed and turned and fixed her gaze on the other one, and his leprosy was back. And so her point was, that's not how this works. You have to have faith and trust, and you also have to be willing to heal someone else first before you receive your own healing. I think that's really true. I think empaths take that too far, and we're trying to fix the world and heal the world, and we can't do that. And that may be part of why our bodies fight ourselves. I don't know if any of you who are online tonight are in the room suffer from autoimmune disease, but a whole bunch of us do, myself included. And so we're learning, right? We're learning how to take good care of ourselves, not fight ourselves within, and then learn how to take better care of each other too. Okay, Sylvia says I have water charging tonight in honor of Brigid. I think that's beautiful. A beautiful idea. And you can still do that. You can go home, or if you're home now watching me online, and you can take some water and take it out into the full moon. You can do that every full moon, actually. Use full moon charged water to cook with or to make tea. It's very good for you. The moon has an intense effect on your energy. Put your oxygen mask on first. That's right. Yeah. I don't do that often enough. Even with my own kids, it's like it's them, it's everybody, it's the family. I have a very sick mother, it's like everybody all the time. I have to stop and say, what do I need today? Yeah, so true. Okay, so what you need for tonight are 2 stones. There are sets for each of these rituals, and they're very intentionally created with a candle of perfume, herbs, and then 2 stones. What I recommend for the herbs for this set is that you burn this as an incense. This set, the herbs, Brigid's herbs, are nettle, angelica, and blackberry root. And do you know that those are the 3 most powerful herbs for healing, prosperity, financial prosperity, and protection? Like, of the entire herbal compendium, next to patchouli, I would say, for money, and basil maybe. Blackberry root is huge for prosperity. And so if you burn this, you are burning healing, protection, and prosperity incense. And that's what I recommend. That's really how I've been using mine. The perfume has the same ingredient. Same thing. Healing, protection, prosperity. Those are the gifts of Brigid. If you're working with her energy, that's what you can expect to experience. And then the stones we're working with tonight are orange calcite for fire. And you will need a fire stone. And we're working with the sacred flame. And then this is moss agate, which is both an earth and a water stone. And you will need that if you want to work with the sacred well. So I hope that's helpful just in terms of like what do you need to have. And if you want to, there are still a few of those in the shop, I think, by the way, if you want them after tonight. Most people want the incense and the perfume. If you want Artemis's kit for next month, I would urge you to get it early. It's in the shop. I put it there this afternoon. And you can use code FULLMOON11 to save 11% off of your Artemis kit. What's really cool about the Artemis kit, at your request, I made the herbs into a bundle. Everybody likes having the herbs in a bundle. So these are the 3 herbs of Artemis, and the really beautiful part is the Artemisia in this is from my dad. My dad grew this Artemisia and harvested it, and we wrap these bundles here. These are not like, we don't outsource this. This is all Artemisia from the land I grew up on. It's really special to me. And we were careful not to harvest so much that we hurt the plants, so it's still growing beautifully there. So Artemisia is for Artemis. Somebody asked me once, what is Artemisia for? Like, take off the goddess. Okay, so I smudged us already. If you haven't smudged already, I recommend that you do that. And take just a moment to anoint with the oil, which will help you drop into the space. If you haven't been with me, anybody online haven't been here before? We'd love to know. If you're new, would love to know. I always anoint. I take just a small drop of the perfume to my third eye for what I know, a little bit on my wrists for what I do, and a tiny bit at my ankles for where I go, what I do, what I know, where I go. It's a beautiful way to work with your perfume because people say, well, where do I put it? It's kind of a naughty question. What did Coco Chanel say? Everywhere you want to be kissed. I'm not saying you want your ankles kissed. I don't know. I'm not saying that. And you can put that wherever you want. If you're here in the room, let's just stick to ankles and wrists and third eye for right now. And just all you have to do for the next 40 minutes is sit back and relax. What I tell people all the time is, you're here tonight sharing this time with me. I'm grateful that you're here. I do have a fun giveaway, so you got to stay tuned for that. But this is time for you. You know what I mean? This is time for you. You're going to close your eyes in just a minute and go somewhere in your meditation. And tonight is about your wellness. Your wellness. That's what Brigid represents. Your wellness. Your healing, the fire within you. And in our meditation tonight, I'm going to ask you to go back to a moment in your life. And this could be yesterday, or this could be 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, however long. And I ask you to go back to a moment in your life where you felt really passionate about something in your life, like really excited about something. Does everybody have something you can look back on where you were like, you know, that place where you're like, you're just like on the edge of anticipation because you were so excited about this thing that's going to happen, or this place you're going to go, or this relationship that you're just getting into, whatever it is. I just want you to, I'm going to plant a seed now, basically, so that when I come to that place in the meditation, you're ready for it. But I want you to think about what that was for you. Because when you go back to that place, and Jessica says, I have a few, that's awesome. Some people don't have a lot of those. When you go back to that place and touch that place the way we're going to tonight, it raises that vibration again. And that's the vibration, that's that place from which you manifest everything in your life. That is the energy, that's the frequency you want to get back to. I'm not saying you're going to have that experience again, but your body remembers that memory of that. Do you know what I mean? Like even now, your body's kind of like probably, it's a heightened sense of awareness when you think about going back to a moment like that. Yeah? Lindsay says, seeing my baby for the first time. It's one of those moments, you know? Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, are we ready? Kelly says she's tingly, so I take that as a really good sign that we are ready to go. I just want you to roll your shoulders back, get really comfortable. Bring your attention to your breath. If you're really stressed out and you don't know what to do, breathe and focus on the breath for like a minute. It brings you back to everything, and it sounds so simple, but we forget. When I get stressed out, I don't know about you, but I stop breathing. Like I'll go for 5 or 10 minutes and then just think to myself, am I breathing right now? You have to ask. You probably weren't. So just bringing your attention to your breath, bringing your attention to your body, really being aware for just a moment. Where are your hands? Where are your feet? Where are your shoulders? Roll your shoulders back. Turn your head from side to side. And just check in with yourself. Leave everything else that happened all day today or this week or weekend or whatever, leave it outside. Back to the breath. And we're going to begin tonight by opening the circle the way we always do. So I'd like you to put your hands on your knees with your palms up like this. And I want you to imagine that out of your left hand extends a white beam of light, beautiful white beam of light that's about 4 inches in diameter, the width of your hand. And as you send that beam of light out of your left hand, I want you to see it extending around the circle, heading toward the person who's sitting next to you in the circle tonight, virtually or here in the room. And track that to that person's right hand, entering into their body, moving through their arms and through their energy systems, out of their left hand into the right hand of the next person. And so that beam of light goes around our circle tonight. We're crossing time zones and continents and oceans tonight with the energy. It's so, so good. So happy to have you here with me. Watching in your mind's eye, that energy being just moving around the circle. And when it comes back to you, which it will, it'll come back to you in your right hand. And feel as it comes back to you in your right hand and you're holding that beam of light in both hands, you are literally holding the energy of the circle. And sense if your palms get warm. It's really normal if that happens. You're holding a lot of energy. Let that energy come into your right hand, up over your right shoulder. Let it flood through your chakras or energy centers. And take just a moment to send energy around that circle, energy of love, kindness, healing, acceptance. And you'll feel that energy come right back to you. And in that way, our circle is open. It's really important before you do any meditation or ceremonial work that you open a circle. It creates a container for that work. You never, never, never do ritual work without doing that. Jasmine's saying, do you feel a pulse? It's really normal to feel like a heartbeat in your hand. That's energy. You release energy from two places in your body, really three. Out of your palms of your hands, out of the soles of your feet, and out of the top of your head. Really three places energy courses and moves through you in the world. That's why they always say, and I always say, your hands are your most magical tool. Wands and things are great, but you need to have your hand. So we're not lighting our candle yet. I'm going to call to the four directions. So just keep your eyes closed and relaxed. So I call tonight, as I always do, to the spirits and guides of each person in this circle. Thank you for being here with us. We call you to come closer, to encircle and surround us with love, protection, wisdom, and connection this evening as we gather to celebrate the fullness of the moon, an event that you and I will witness no more than 1,000 times with these human eyes. Isn't that powerful? May the full moon never lose its magic for us or our kind. And I call to the gatekeepers of the four directions. Thank you for turning your gaze toward us this evening. We honor your sacred presence and thank you for your guardianship of the circle tonight. I first call to the direction of east, element of air, quicksilver, invisible winds. And this is for you if you're a Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. I call to you, air, into light and dawn, to the rising of the sun above mountain tops and the pale peach hue of the sky as it receives the first rays of morning sunlight. I invoke air and movement in my life, exquisite flow of energy. Teach me, air, to move with ease, to be within and without, above and below, not bound by my circumstances, my fears, or my failures. I rise, and all around me as the winds shift and move, I learn the power of graceful allowance. I honor my breath, I honor the life force within me and within you. Guardians and gatekeepers of the element of air, I see you. I summon you, and you are here with us holding the Eastern Gateway tonight. Around the wheel, I call next to the direction of south. This is element of fire, candle flame, wildfire. I call to you if you're an Aries, a Leo, or Sagittarius. And to you, fire, I call to the dry heat and the desert wind, the sacred lands of our ancestors, the wild sagebrush and native herbs that grow wild and free. The wildfires that burn untamed like the passion of lovers who know the power of one touch on bare skin between souls with lifetimes of connection. Teach me, fire, to kindle my flame, to burn bright and burn long, not bound by convention or boundaries or rules. I burn. And all around me, as the flames grow, I learn the power of fearless expansion. I honor the fire within. I honor the courage of my wild spirit and yours. Guardians and gatekeepers of the sacred element of fire, I see you, I honor you. You are here holding the Southern Gateway with us tonight. And next, turning the wheel, I call to the direction of west, element of water, raging rivers, deepest oceans. And this is for you if you're Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. I call to you, water, to waves that rise above me, depths that could crush me. You compose me, water. I am you. The rivers and oceans that expand and connect us tonight are mothers to us, their children. They feed us, nourish us, bathe us, cleanse us, drown us, birth us, the cycles of life. Teach me, water, to move with your tides and to swim gracefully against them when it is needed. I am not bound by a desire to seek land or shelter, but rather I am able to be afloat in trust. I float and I swim, and all around me as the waves rise, I learn the power of my intuition. I see that my entire being knows how to surrender when it must. I know how to cry when that release is needed, and I honor my deepest emotions as well as yours. Guardians and gatekeepers of the sacred element of water, I see you, I honor you, and you are here holding the Western Gateway with us tonight. And last but never least, I call to the direction of north. This is element of earth, Mother Gaia, the continents, oceans moving in a silent and sacred dance. I call to you if you are a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. To you, earth, and all of your trees, your wilderness, your animals, your creatures of all kinds. I call to your expanses and your uncharted spaces, wild and free places, where all of the elements find their home. All of these places where I have lived and died and lived again, my ancestors, their bones, return to you. My own one day will be with theirs. Dust and life and death and growth, you hold us all, earth. Teach me, earth, to hold the expanse of my feelings and my work in the world with grace and your depth. Never bound by a fear of my own strength, I am able to trust that I can hold it all, and I have roots as deep and as far as yours run, centuries old and miles long. I root, and all around me as I age and I learn, I trust that my roots are deep enough to support the expanse of my branches and my fruit. I know that I am capable of holding more than I think, and I know how to stand my ground and send my roots deep into you when there are things I cannot hold. Guardians and gatekeepers of the element of earth, I see you, I honor you, and you are here holding the northern gateway with us tonight. And my wish for you, as it is every month, is that the delicate and precious balance of these four elements will make itself known to you tonight and always. And together we say, Amen, Aho, and so it is. So it is. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you like that. Okay, so I think we are ready to meditate together. So good. So good. Thank you, everyone. So I would like us to light our candles together. If you need fire in the room, I can make that happen for you. I have fire. Do you need a lighter? There's some shenanigans happening in the room. It's managed. So good. I know. We have seen what happens with fire around here, so that's not going to happen tonight. Okay. 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 So roll your shoulders back. I want you to close your eyes again. Get into that really nice, comfortable, receptive position, calling your attention back to your breath. And I'll tell you when you need your stones. Okay. For right now, just be with your breath. And so for our meditation tonight, we are entering Brigid's realm. And I want you to imagine that you are in a beautiful forest in a very ancient Ireland, before anything known as Ireland even existed. And I want you to remember that, my belief is that all civilizations were born out of one civilization that was in a place called Lemuria. And that when Lemuria was destroyed, those who remained were scattered to the many corners of the world and formed the Roman civilization and the Greek civilization and the Egyptian and then of course into the Northern European civilization. And so when we honor Brigid, we're recognizing that many of us have an energy that's even earlier than that. So that is really, really powerful. So we are entering her enchanted realm tonight. And we're going to begin by meeting Brigid here. Before we do, I really want you to focus your mind and your thoughts back to a place in your life, as I mentioned, where you felt a deep passion, a deep commitment, a real earnest interest in something that was expanding and growing in your life. It could have been your family or work. It could be happening now for you. It could be love. Take yourself right back to that place. Right back to that place. And I want you to allow yourself to feel all of the aspects of those feelings, the excitement, the joy, the courage, the anticipation, the peace of that time in your life. whatever it is that was present for you. So as we come into your realm this evening, Brigid, we give thanks for your presence. We give thanks for the opportunity to work with your energy this month. So grateful for your healing and for the energy of fire and of water that you bring to our circle. And as the keeper of the sacred flame, the eternal flame, that flame that's always lit, both within and without, you're the great mother who is always there, whose energy is always present for us, and all we have to do is tap into it. That is your beauty, Brigid. Take just a moment to take a good inhale and exhale into that feeling, that time, that place where you're going back in your mind. So I'm going to ask that Brigid offer us the energy of her sacred flame, that she light that place within you, connect her flame to your flame. And the place where this happens, by the way, is your lower chakras, your solar plexus and your sacral chakra. So if you want to imagine harnessing that passion and that power and that energy, it would be right in your midsection, right where your stomach is, just a little bit lower to your ovaries or testes, your reproductive area. That's where your solar plexus and sacral chakras are. And so we ask for the blessing of Brigid's flame to connect you to that place of passion and power in your own life. I literally want you to imagine that the place within you, that place within you is being lit tonight. Creating a fire, creating a flame that you can tend and keep lit through difficult times, through challenging times, whatever's happening in your life right now. And I challenge you to let Brigid light that fire within you and then to have you tend that flame after tonight. And see if you can sense just a warmth there within those lower chakras. Feel that fire energy coming into you. And then put your hands there and let the fire energy come through your hands. I happen to be wearing carnelian tonight because I knew we were doing this work. So good. And now is the time when you should hold your orchid calcite or your orange calcite stone or whatever fire stone you are working with. I want you to take it in your left hand and cover it with your right hand. So we ask that Brigid herself offer the energy of her sacred flame tonight to allow that energy to be placed into the stone. So this stone can now be a reminder for you, can be a talisman for you of that sacred flame within, a place for you to connect with your passion and your intensity and your courage and your power. If you would like, as I've explained to you before, many shaman like to breathe the breath of the energy into their stone, or you can just simply hold it in your hand. And as you hold your stone with both hands, you are both giving and receiving this energy. And bring your thoughts back to that place, that time that we're focusing on tonight. And set the intention now that you will experience those emotions again. You may not experience that same moment in your life, but set the intention tonight by this full moon that you will experience those emotions again and commit to tending this flame within yourself with passion, with intensity. So this is a place of creation for you. And see if you have any visions right now in your mind's eye about what that might look like for you this year. Will it be something new that you create? Will it be a new job or a new opportunity or something that you make with your hands or a new child in your family, a new relationship for you? What is it that passion will create through you? And how will it bless other people in your life? When you're ready, you can place your stone down. And now if you have the moss agate with you, or a stone that represents earth or water, would like for you to take that stone again in your left hand and cover it with your right hand. And now, Brigid, we call upon your other modality, the element of water and your sacred healing wells. And I want you to imagine that you place both of your hands with this stone into Brigid's well with her healing waters. Let your hands feel cool to the touch as you imagine placing them within her well. Brigid, we ask that you infuse your healing energy into the stone. This healing energy can be for the body, for the mind, for the spirit. Whatever healing it is that you need tonight. And you may not even know what it is that you need, so you may ask your guides to work on your behalf, to let the stone hold healing energy in places you may not even know that you need it right now. Imagine letting the water from her healing well come through your hands, move into your arms, through your arteries and veins, and let the healing energy of her water move and course through your body. I like to imagine just sending it wherever I know I need healing. It could be down to your legs, it could be your heart, it could be your stomach and digestive system. And just let that energy wash over you. And Brigid, we ask for your healing blessings tonight upon us, upon each of us, in the many places that we need healing, whether it's our body, our mind, or our spirit. And we give thanks for your blessings tonight. And it's really helpful too if you can take just a moment right here and imagine yourself in perfect health, whatever that looks like for you. Whatever that looks like for you. What would your body feel like in perfect health? What would your soul feel like in perfect health and balance? What would your spirit feel like if it was released from the sadness and trauma and pain? And here's a really powerful question. What would your soul feel if you were releasing karmic wounds and baggage and debt? What would that feel like for you right now? And Brigid, we ask that you clear away any unwanted sickness or pain or karma that we have dealt with appropriately and accordingly in our lives. Just allow us to release it tonight into your healing well. And through your energy, please allow these stones to become talismans for us, representations of our own healing, reminders to us of what it feels like for our bodies, minds, and spirits to be in perfect health. And then you place your stone down. And so we give thanks to Brigid this evening for her presence, for the ability to enter this realm with her. Take just one final moment to sense and feel any images, experiences, messages. It's very common for Brigid to tell you what you need to release, what you need to let go of. And she's a goddess of peace, she's a goddess of healing, and she's a goddess of creation. So if you have questions about what do I need to release or what I need to let go of, ask those questions now and see what messages come to you. And then just take a moment to express your gratitude for her energy tonight. So good. And so we'll begin our retreat from Brigid's realm, coming back to present time. Just imagine leaving this space. It's hard sometimes to leave these places that we travel to, especially if you have Celtic lineage or Celtic roots. This is a place that you have called home. So just letting that space go, knowing that you can always return here in meditation. Brigid is a goddess you can continue to work with on many levels. But we give thanks for her presence tonight. And just retreating from her realm, starting to wiggle fingers and toes to bring our awareness back to the present moment. And turn your head from side to side. Bring your attention back to your breath. So good. So did you receive? Did you hear? Yeah. She's gentle, you know. I mean, compared to Kali from last month, where Kali won't hesitate to remove some things for you on your behalf. Bridget's messages are very gentle and very soothing. She is a great mother. And what's interesting to me is we always think of Gaia as the great mother. We talk about mother figures and goddess energy. We always think of Gaia because she's our mother. But Brigid represents a very strong maternal element as well. And she can mother you through the things that are happening in your life right now. And we've also talked a lot in my groups about how a lot of us are absent a strong mother figure in our lives, and we've had to learn how to mother ourselves. I don't know if that resonates with you, but if it does, this is a powerful place to begin, because self-mothering is really the path to wellness. Ultimately, you will have to learn how to mother yourself. Even if you get a great mother, eventually she will not be with you if things go in the natural order, right? And so learning how to mother yourself and using these goddess archetypes as role models for how to do that is a really beautiful place to begin. And also, if your mother relationship was challenging, when you become a mother, that's hard, because you're having to learn how to do the thing, especially if you didn't have a great model for that. And so Brigid can also teach you how to parent. She can give you a beautiful model, or teach you how to be a beautiful aunt to nieces and nephews, however you're mothering in your life. I, in my role, mother a lot of people my own age and older, which I love, but I'm something of a doula in many ways. And so she's a beautiful, beautiful representation of what it means to be strong as a woman. And I think a lot of us can benefit from that so much. So I'm so glad you enjoyed this, so glad. But Tracy says, just do the opposite. Get a bad example. Think, what would my mom do? And then just don't do that. It's so true, right? It's so true. I mean, we laugh. It's not funny. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is a very common theme in my world, is people who are having to be really, really strong for themselves and mother themselves, nurture themselves through some difficult times. And it may not be fair that you didn't necessarily have that influence, but now you can learn how to do that and how to be a beautiful example of that in the world yourself too. I believe that. And look, this is as much a message for men as it is for women. This is not exclusive, and men need to get in touch with the divine feminine in order to represent that, because men have mothering aspects too. And so the strongest men I know are the most nurturing. But if they didn't have an example of that in their mother, then they're going to have to pull from something, an archetype to work with. And Brigid, again, can teach men how to be strong and yet tender and nurturing. So it's very powerful, right? So good. Okay, and so before we leave the circle, I'm going to just anoint one more time with the perfume. I like to attach the memory of an experience to scent, because then whenever I smell that smell, I will be right back where I was. So just a nice deep inhale. Whatever perfume you're working with, if it's Brigid or another scent, I saw that one of our viewers is using rose oil, which is beautiful. It's a lovely oil to work with for Brigid. Just a deep inhale again to connect. And traditionally in shamanic work, working with scent, you would want to do that 7 times to create a scent memory that attaches to the memory of the experience. So you can choose to do that if you'd like. Yeah. So good. So good. Okay, and when you're ready, roll your shoulders back, return to that position, that receiving position, hands on your knees, palms facing up. I still feel like I'm there. I don't know that I've left yet. Do you feel it?
Yeah.
Usually I'm out. Once I say we're out, I'm out. So I'm gonna have to do some extra grounding tonight. If you still feel like you're there, that's great. We call this ritual buzz. So if you still are having a little bit of a ritual buzz, Nietzsche says, I don't want to go yet. I know. You can always drop back in, and what people tell me they do is they watch the recording of this and they pause it, which means I don't get to take them back. They get to stay in the playlist, which is great. That's part of the beauty of the recording, and then you can stay in Brigid's realm as long as you would like. So good. Okay, so but we should leave for now. Rolling shoulders back. I know. And so you received the circle, that beam of light in your right hand. You're gonna release it out of your right hand as well. So that energy is gonna go counterclockwise back. So just letting that beam of light out of your hand very gently, watching it unwind back around the circle, releasing the energy that we've raised together tonight. And the last vestige of it will come to you in your left hand as you unwind. And I like to turn my left hand upside down and send that energy down into the very center of the earth. And I do that because the earth can hold. Remember the invocation that I read? The earth can hold the things that you can't. You should not hold the energy of this experience tonight. You should release it to the earth. And also when you do that, you send that energy down into the earth where it can be transformed and transmuted and then used. Energy is not created and it's not destroyed. You can raise it and build it, but we didn't make it, and we're not destroying it now. It's going out into the world to do its work with the power of a vibration. And I think every time we gather in love and meditate together, I think we heal the world. We really do. And then that you are doing so much work, and not just for yourself, but you're doing it for the planet. Every time we gather in love and we meditate and we connect and we focus on healing, I do believe that there are people who have no idea what we're doing tonight, really, and yet they'll be on the receiving end of some of this energy. I believe that. But that's why you have to maintain a high vibration and keep your focus. You will see that I don't get distracted. Even if there's weird things happening in the feed or whatever's happening, you're not going to see me lose my focus. My focus is on raising a vibration, holding that vibration, and focusing on that energy. And that's what you have to do as well. So remember, that's the message of the full moon in Virgo. Focus, 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 focus. Don't get distracted. What's happening over here? Who cares? Right here. Put your blinders on. So good. And so we thank Mother Earth for receiving that energy on our behalf. We want to release the 4 directions, the guardians of those gateways. So north, we release you from your service to our circle tonight. Thank you for blessing us with your gift of wisdom. West, we release your guardian of your gateway from the circle tonight. Thank you for the gift of helping us connect with our deep emotions. And to the south, we release the southern guardian of that gateway. Thank you for the courage to do this work and for bringing us the sacred flame. May it stay lit forever within us. And last, to the direction of east, thank you, guardians of the eastern gateway, for reminding us that there is always space for a new beginning in our life and helping us work with air energy to maintain a good flow in our life as well. So it is. So it is. So it is. I hope. So next month's a big month. Do you know why? Because it's Carol's birthday. By the way, I don't know if Marie is watching, but this is a gift from Marie, and so I want you to know that I love you and I appreciate this today. It's Carol's birthday month. I would turn the camera and show you, but both my kids' birthday months. I have 2 other Pisces and an Aries. So there's all kinds of birthdays. But we are turning seasons in the north and in the south, toward the sun in the north, toward shadow in the south. And so we not only do we have a full moon, but we have an equinox. Big, big, big energy. I really want you to save the day and join me. It's a big, big, big set of days. That week is a very powerful week. And so we are honoring Artemis. Who is Artemis? What's Artemis's other name? Also known as Diana. I like her more as Artemis. Yeah, it's something. I think it's because of to me, Artemis is the moon goddess, and I always think of her that way. To me, she is a goddess of the moon, and that truly is what she is. What else is she? She's wild. She's a hunter. You know, Artemis is going to teach you I kind of did my hair Artemis style tonight. I don't know if you're digging it, but I've been watching too much Vikings. I think I have. I had Lagertha kind of like happen. I don't know if that means anything to you. You may not even know what I'm talking about right now, but if you're like me, you were counting the minutes until it started again. But anyway, it's a little Artemis for me tonight. But Artemis is wild. She doesn't want your hair to be nice and clean. She wants you to be out there hunting and looking, and she's focused and she's powerful and she gets what she wants. So here's what we're going to experience next month. You ready? Manifestation. Artemis is a huge goddess of manifestation. Huge. If you're trying to make something happen, and our focus of our meditation next month is going to be on manifestation. So if that's the energy that you're working with, Artemis is a great guide for that. She helps us connect to the moon as a tool, a source for manifestation energy. She's a wild woman. She's kind of fearless. Yeah. She's a little bit of an ass kicker, so if you've been, procrastinating, she's going to move you out of that. Not like Kali. She's not going to destroy everything around you. But she's got the bow and arrow. Do you know what I mean? And she's a very fixed vision of what needs to happen. And as I shared with you at the beginning of tonight, that's how manifestation happens. You want to manifest something, you better get a laser. And you better start looking at the goal and stay fixed on the goal and not move your sight. And that's what Artemis teaches us, right? It's big energy. So like I said, the set is in the shop if you'd like to have the tools for next month. I think you're going to love it. I'm really proud too. I think I've said this before, but I like to brag about my team, and the perfume is crazy good. It's an Artemis-based or Artemisia-based perfume. I'm gonna pass it around the room so you guys can smell it. It's sexy, but it's also powerful. I mean, this is not a little young lady's perfume. Do you know what I mean? This is not your grandma's perfume. That's not what this is. People will know when Artemis is coming. We here at Sage Goddess, this is our art. I have an incredible artist on my staff, and she does all of these labels. How gifted, right? So I think that's beautiful too, is that you have original art for these goddesses. It's been really fun and inspiring to create these. So here's a couple things I want to tell you, and then we'll do the giveaway. If you love the moon and you're on Facebook and haven't been in our Facebook group, you might enjoy the full moon ritualists. And so we will put the link in the feed if you'd like to join that group. Did you know I have 4 Facebook groups? I have one called Gem Insider, which that's like a backstage pass to everything gems for me. Like gem shows, you get first peek at everything and all the beautiful, you get videos and you learn all those things. Then there's Gem Haven, which is like big gem group. I don't even think you see me in there anymore. But people want to, if you want like, what is the stone? Can you help me figure out what this is? Or like sharing fun memes and stories and stuff, there's Gem Haven. There's Perfumery, which is an entire group about aromatherapy. So if you're interested in that. And then there's Full Moon Ritualist, which is a separate group just for the full moon. Ray is putting those links in the feed right now, and we'll put them on the event page too, so I thought you would like to know that. My magical sabbatical class is going to be closing. We've almost hit our limit, and so I don't want to go beyond. I don't want to have too many people in the class because I like it to be very intimate. So if you're interested in being in class with me, you can go to sagegoddess.com/register and learn more about that. We take what you've experienced tonight in that class to a much deeper level. We spent a whole hour just talking about the herbs this month. So if you really want a deeper dive on this stuff, you would want to be in the magical sabbatical class. So I hope that's helpful. Okay. I could say something naughty right now. I'm not going to. But now I don't even have to. You guys know me pretty well, and I don't have to say anything anymore. It's almost like a relationship, where it's like, I could just probably sit here for an hour and you would just figure it out, but I still like to talk to you about the things. Okay, these are some gorgeous spheres. Tucson, fluorite. This one has a heart. Did you see that? This one is just all sorts of teal. I mean, look at that. That is a blue fluorite sphere if I ever saw one. And so the blue fluorite goes to, ready? To Becca Fargus, which some of you may know. That goes to Becca Fargus. And then the other one goes to, ready? Someone in the room. Excited? It's got the heart. Candace, Islander. Where's Candace? Yay! So to Candace and to Becca, congratulations. That is for you. And that is what she wanted. Oh, I wish they could hear you say that. Oh, she really wanted that. I do believe the stones find their right homes. They really, really, really do. All right. Namaste, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here in the room. I know it's so good, right? So good. So I will see you in March. We're gonna kick some ass. We're gonna manifest some things. We're gonna put a target and create something powerful for ourselves around the spring equinox. It's a good time to do it. So I will see you then. Enjoy, everybody. Have a great evening. Thank you for being here. Doesn't it smell good? Oh my God. They're in love with Artemis. Yeah.